Hi, I'm Brian Kurtz, and these videos are meant to accompany a book called Access the Real You, Touching Your Divinity and Applying Its Wisdom to Your Life. I hope they serve.
So let's get to the next piece of all this. We've talked about point A, point B, what's so and what I'd prefer instead. We've talked about three ways of being with any issue: resolve, refine, release. Where's all this getting us? Well, the more time you spend in the place of the noticer, noticing the brain chatter, noticing the bodily sensations that you may have, you got to cut yourself some slack, especially in the area of forgiveness and release, because your brain will continue to generate stuff about which you can release. Don't just try and release without doing first the resolve and refine pieces. That's what some might call spiritual bypass. Work on resolving. If you really can't resolve the issue, then work on refining who you're going to be about the thing you can't resolve. If you can't refine any further, it may just be time to let it go, to release it, and release as many times as you need to. So, what do you do in practical application of all of this? Well, the more you can notice your brain chatter, the more you can notice the bodily stuff going on. You can also notice what's going on in your life. Remember, if you're made of God stuff, as we talked about in one of the earlier segments, you are imbued with God-like characteristics. Jesus, again, he had a lot to say. One of the things he said that folks don't talk very much about is he said, "Ye too are gods," little g, "ye too are gods, and greater things than these you'll do in my name." Now, what I think he meant to say by that was, we are divine spirit beings. We have access to the same stuff that he had access to. People would ask him, "Who are you?" trying to imply that he was this sacred savior figure, and he would say, "I'm just here on my dad's business." He would say, when someone says, "Who are you?" he'd say, "Who do you say I am?" Because he knew that what was going on in them was determining their reality, because we are, with our godness, co-creating our reality with Creator. If that is so, there's responsibility to be taken. We share a world with other co-creators. If it's all about me getting my way as opposed to me functioning smoothly and working within the world that we share, if it's not about me per se, life is a lot smoother. If I'm not all about getting what I want the way I want it, but trying to do what works in the world, loving others, forgiving others, loving myself, self-love, the more I can work with me, the more I can co-create in a more peaceful way. The more peaceful I am, the more peaceful a world I can theoretically create. Even in a world filled with conflict. I'm not saying I don't get upset with the conflict and things that cause me stuff to notice. I can be with that. You can be with that. We can be with each other, being with that. If we can be in that loving place, if we can notice what's going on around us that we're co-creating, that can be mirroring back to us what's going on. If I'm noticing conflict all around in my life, with people, with circumstances, I can work on who I'm being about that. If there are issues that arise with me and another person or with me in a circumstance, life is all about being with what is, being with what occurs, and resolving or refining or releasing around what comes up. You can do this, but we have to be in the awareness that I can learn from what I notice in my brain chatter. I can learn from what I notice in my body. I can learn from what's occurring in my life. My job is to be in a place of love and peace about it all. That doesn't mean you have to like it, but you can love it. Love is beyond like. I can not like someone at all, but when I can connect to my own soul and connect to their soul in that soul place, it's deeper, more loving connection. I can be in the love place with that person I don't even like very much. I can be in the love place with a set of circumstances I don't even like. It can be done. You can do this. Being in the awareness place, being in the noticer place, being in the love and acceptance place. That doesn't mean you have to like it, but you can accept it as a neutral, as opposed to when someone says, it is what it is. Usually when someone says, it is what it is, what they usually mean is, screw it, it's horrible, it's not getting any better. That's a negative. That's not a neutral. Real acceptance is saying, it is what it is. And that's a neutral. It's a lot easier to go from a neutral to joy than to go from a negative to neutral to joy. Be in joy. Be in love. Make love to your life. What is making love? What making love is all about is connecting to, being in love with. Connect to and be in love with your life. You can do it.